Have you ever noticed how often we say we want change right before rejecting it? Because new can be uncomfortable. I think we're far more resistant to newness than we like to believe. We love new things when they feel somehow familiar. A new jacket that's basically the same as the last one. A new trend that fits neatly into what you already wear. But genuine newness, a new way of dressing, a new way of seeing yourself or others, a new possibility for who you could become, that's harder. And I totally get it. And because style is easier to understand when we actually can see it, throughout this video I'm going to show you a few outfit ideas that might be challenged to receive. So my goal is that you stay open enough to know that embracing new things doesn't need to mean anything. It could be dismissed, overlooked, or ignored altogether. Or it can broaden your repertoire. So in either instance, it's a gain. But first I want to make it clear that my goal is not for you to copy the outfits here necessarily, although you can if you want to. I want you to notice your reactions, what immediately attracts you, what immediately makes you feel uncomfortable, what feels like you, what feels like absolutely not. Those reactions often reveal something much deeper than whether we like an outfit. They reveal the boundaries we created around who we think we're allowed to be. Take this outfit, for example. I'm wearing a nicely tailored blazer with capris. For some women, this combination will feel perfectly normal. For others, it will feel slightly off. The proportions may feel unfamiliar, the capris may feel too youthful. The whole thing may challenge the idea of what a stylish woman over 50 is supposed to look like. And that's exactly what I'm talking about. The reaction isn't necessarily about whether the outfit works. It's about whether it fits the image we've created of ourselves. The point I'm trying to convey doesn't require a total style overhaul necessarily. It's simply being open to possibilities. Maybe it's something as simple as adding color when you're spending years hiding in neutrals. Maybe it's wearing a silhouette that feels slightly unfamiliar. Maybe it's pairing pieces in a way that doesn't look like everyone else, but feels inextricably you. Not necessarily better, just different. And that's usually where resistance shows up. Not because something looks bad, but because it doesn't look like the version of you you've grown accustomed to seeing. You may try a determined outfit and immediately think, that's not me. But what if you keep an open mind? What if you start a crop top and a low-rise cargo pant, and instead of feeling exposed or ridiculous, you catch yourself thinking, there I am. What if you experiment with a silhouette you normally dismiss and discover something you'd been missing all along? I hear that from my clients a lot. I would never have thought of wearing this, and I love it. Not every unfamiliar outfit is a mistake waiting to be corrected. Sometimes it's a doorway. Sometimes it's an evidence that the version of you you've been dressing for is no longer the version of you you're becoming. Take another example. A dress with an exuberant silhouette. Some women will immediately think, that's beautiful. Others will think, that's too much, the pink shoes don't go with it. But notice how quickly we move from evaluating the outfit to evaluating ourselves. Because often we're not rejecting the outfit. We are rejecting the possibility of being seen in that way. And interestingly, that's when the fear of judgment appears. Not when the outfit feels wrong, but when it feels right. Because once something genuinely resonates with you, the risk changes. You're no longer wondering whether people will approve of the outfit. You're wondering whether they will approve of the woman the outfit reveals. And those are two very different fears. But often, What we're reacting to isn't the outfit itself. We often assume other people are judging us through the very lens we've used to judge ourselves, or sometimes through the lens we've used to judge them. Too loud, trying too hard, not sophisticated enough, not age appropriate. So when we are considered dressing differently, we're not just confronting a new outfit. We are confronting an entire set of beliefs about what is acceptable for ourselves and others. And what's interesting is that many of those beliefs were never ours to begin with. They were inherited. Okay, take yet another outfit. A sequin skirt style with casual items and pops of color. The skirt says one thing, the top says something else. The accessories add friction. Nothing quite matches the stereotype of what it should be. And that's why it's interesting. Because personal style often lives in that tension, the place where things aren't entirely predictable, the place where you're making choices based on what feels expressive rather than what feels approved. In fact, some of the most interesting style evolutions begin with a little discomfort, not because you're trying to become someone else, but because you're allowing yourself to become more of who you are, which is one of the reasons this channel will probably never be the biggest fashion channel on YouTube. Most style content promises certainty, wear this, avoid that, follow these rules. What I talk about here is something less comfortable. It's experimentation, self-discovery, learning to trust your own eye. And that's also why the outfit ideas I share are exactly that, ideas. They're not rules, they're not formulas, they're certainly not instructions for how every woman should dress. I don't want you to dress like me. I want you to discover what feels like you. The outfits are simply examples of what's possible, a starting point for your own exploration, not a destination. For example, here's a blazer paired with a simple checkered shirt and jeans. Nothing particularly outrageous. Yet, many women have already decided that a check shirt belongs to a certain category. Casual occasions, mundane ones. Now, a very controversial idea. For many, this would be age inappropriate, a definitely no-no, a lack of class. For others, on the other hand, it might be just the right amount of sexy. But what happens when we challenge those assumptions and judgments? What happens when we stop asking, who's allowed to wear this? Or when should I wear that? And start asking, do I enjoy wearing this? That's a much smaller conversation. And honestly, I'm completely fine with that, because I'd rather have a boutique channel filled with women who genuinely want to dress like themselves than a massive channel built on telling women who they should be. Women who are willing to explore, willing to evolve, willing to risk getting it wrong, and willing to be seen without constantly filtering themselves through the fear of judgment. Because personal style isn't really about clothes. It's about becoming comfortable with the parts of yourself that don't need anyone's approval. It's about trusting yourself enough to explore who you are becoming. It's about realizing that you don't need permission to express yourself. So take what resonates, leave what doesn't, borrow ideas, adapt them, make them your own, because the goal was never to create another version of you. The goal is to become more fully yourself, to wear the colors that excite you, the silhouettes that energize you, the combinations that make you feel recognized when you catch your reflection. Not because everyone understands them, but because you do. And in a world that constantly encourages women to edit themselves down, becoming more of yourself is a remarkably powerful thing. Think about that. Thanks for staying with me until the end, and I'll see you next week. Ciao, ciao, everyone.